Daniel Ben-Simon represents the opposition Labour Party in the Knesset, Israel's parliament. He has a very different perspective from the Netanyahu government on how Israel should relate to its Palestinian neighbors. It's a voice over the last several days that we haven't heard much of. We'll get to that in a moment once we're able to connect with Daniel Ben-Simon, and I understand he is with me. Daniel Ben-Simon, thanks for joining us. We're hearing a lot now from the Israeli government, including Danny Ayalon, who told CNN if the rockets don't stop, a ground offensive will happen. What is your take there on the government of Mr. Netanyahu and the possibility that a ground offensive will take place in Gaza once again?
Hala, Mr. Netanyahu has been prime minister for 7 years. This is his first war. I cannot predict how far he will go. What I can tell you is that it's beginning to become a serious crisis because of Tel Aviv has been hit. I mean, the city behind me, the City of Lights in Israel, has been hit for the first time in 20 years. The capital of Israel, Jerusalem, has been hit, and two symbols have been hit, so I cannot tell you how serious it is becoming since, 70,000 soldiers have been called to go to Gaza. So I think that the third day of this crisis is becoming nearly a war between us and Gaza, and God knows if it can spread over Gaza somewhere else. So what I think is that it's becoming serious, and Hala, if I can tell you, it's time for the Americans to step in. It's time from the White House to call and to look at what's happening here. It seems to me there's a sense of almost of absence from the White House, from the Americans. And before it becomes a real war, regional war, I think it's time for the president, if he doesn't see the show, please send him the tape, that I'm telling you, it is really serious.
And
it is becoming
why
something
do the Americans
beyond
need
control,
to step in, though,
and
Daniel
it's not
Ben-Simon?
what happened 3 years ago.
Why do the Americans need to step in? Why can't Israelis figure this out? Why can't the Israeli government?
Because they are, you know what? I'm telling you as a compliment, you are the only ones who can control the area and the situation, and who can talk freely, both to the Palestinians and to the Israelis. I say it as a compliment, and we need you sometimes when we quarrel between us. We need the boss, and the boss is still the White House. And it seems to me that the White House is too silent, and it's been going on. The south of Israel has been paralyzed for 3 days. Hundreds of thousands of people cannot get out of home. On the other side of Gaza, it's also a tragedy, and it seems that it's beyond control. And that's what I'm saying,
right.
that the UN is okay, Europe will probably will step in, but the Americans are urgently needed here now.
Well, interesting that you call the Americans the boss in this situation. I need to ask you about the Israeli political left. You have a very different approach on how you think the situation in Gaza, the West Bank, a two-state solution should be dealt with. What should, if you had your way, the Israeli left, what would you do differently from, say, the government of Netanyahu?
We will, as soon as we win the elections, we will go to the Palestinian Authority, to the President Abu Mazen, and we will first shake hands and sit to try to find, to see what is the two-state, where the border will be between us and them. We are neighbors. Mm-hmm. We will give them their own state. And it's something that not just a Palestinian interest, but also an Israeli interest. And we will try to find a solution for Gaza. It cannot go on like this. We have to find a way how the 2 million people in Gaza will live normally, like us. As long as they don't live normally, I don't think we can find a solution. So this is a way. We don't think that force will find a solution, only by talking, by dialogue. And this dialogue is urgent now.
Okay, now you say as soon as we win the election, but I'm sure you're familiar with polls that indicate that Likud and their coalition allies are set to win this election on January 22nd. And the question I have for you is, why is the Israeli left so politically, at this stage, incapable of winning elections and forming coalitions and leading the government in this country right now?
First, Hala, this is the land of miracles, and anything can happen. including the left to win. As to your question, the second question, we were doing well until the war erupted 3 days ago. We were leading the social agenda, and all the elections were about the social agenda. And I must tell you now, we have stopped campaigning because of the war, and the social agenda is a bit almost irrelevant. So this situation is new. I don't think the winners are all, I mean, as you said, are the Likud. It's still early. It's 2 months from now, and the polls have been, mistaken so many times. So we'll take it easy. I am optimistic, and we might be the new government in Israel.